Today I have an insane clip from GBNews talking about Mayor of London Sadiq Khan, and it just proves that all they have is projection, identity politics, and an opposition to freedom of speech. So let's get straight into the video.
Every time we hear from Sadiq Khan, he seems to be moaning about something. Last week he said...
Coming from GB News that moan about everything, immigrants, trans people, woke ideology, that's all they do. They're constantly moaning and whinging about nothing.
Londoners were anxious about the outcome of the US election. In August, he said he felt unsafe as a Muslim in Britain after the riots. And before...
Yeah, after race riots, where mosques were attacked, a hotel containing migrants, they tried to burn it down. I'd feel a little apprehensive too, to be honest.
Before that, he was having a row with Lee Anderson about racism. So what does it say about the man's ability as Mayor of London when the only headlines he gets is when he's playing the victim? Well, he's made...
Coming from GB News, this is very rich and, again, psychological projection, because all the right have is this kind of defensive victim mentality. That's it. It's against immigrants. It's against trans people. It's against woke ideology. This goes back to 30s Germany as well. It was the defensive war against Jewish control, influence. They're constantly on the offense. They are the biggest victims.
In another triumphant return today with comments about incoming US President Donald Trump.
If I wasn't this colour skin, if I wasn't a practicing Muslim, he wouldn't have come for me. He wasn't coming for me because I'm 5'6", right? He's come for me because of, let's be frank, my ethnicity and my religion's the fact that I was speaking out against somebody's whose policies were sexist, homophobic, Islamophobic, racist, wasn't because, I wanted to come to his attention, but because I have a responsibility to speak out if I think something's affecting not just Londoners, but affecting all of us.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm sure he's going to respond and say, yes, Sadiq Khan, he has the right to freedom of speech to express how he feels about the most powerful man on the planet. I'm sure this is where it's going.
Hey, let's get real here. If Donald Trump had a problem with Sadiq Khan's skin colour, he wouldn't have just hired Vivek Ramaswamy to head up the new US Department of Government Efficiency with Elon Musk. He wouldn't...
Oh, okay. So I thought, freedom of speech. No, he's using identity politics. So, no, Donald Trump can't be racist because he's just hired someone of Indian heritage. This is not how racism works. I'm sorry. I do not buy into this argument that immigrants can't get caught up in the lies and misinformation, and also not want other immigrants to come into the country. The idea that people of colour cannot be racist is not true. And they use this as a means to deflect any accusations of racism. Kemi Badenoch did this recently. She said, I'm great for the Tory leadership because the left, Labour can't accuse me of being racist. This is identity politics. And apparently they claim to hate it, but they use it constantly when it's convenient for them, and they can deflect any accusations of racism. This is all that's happening here. Donald Trump is racist, but, they have to, they've got no argument, so they have to say, oh no, I've got a black friend, I'm not racist.
Presidents have just made J.D. Vance, married to a Hindu woman, his vice president. And he certainly wouldn't have enjoyed a mammoth 14 percentage point surge in Latino voters at the last election.
Yes, Latinos have an anti-immigration sentiment because they're being fed that narrative constantly by right-wing propaganda in America, and they're going to buy into it. There's nothing inevitable about it. There's nothing inevitable about an immigrant not wanting other people to emigrate and kind of go into America and have the same life as them. There's nothing inevitable about this. It's a manufactured issue from the right-wing media.
Khan also reckons Trump is homophobic. OK, so why did Trump in 2020 make National Intelligence Director Richard Grenell the first openly gay holder of a cabinet-level position in the history of the United States? And why is
I'm not sure if Donald Trump is specifically homophobic. I'm sure he's probably said some stuff. I don't think he's probably that homophobic. But that doesn't mean just because he's hired someone who's a homosexual, that doesn't mean that you're not homophobic. That's not how it works. Often they just have people as a token. It is tokenistic on the right. They don't care about DEI. They just, want to deflect any accusations of homophobia. So
Grenell now being tipped for another job in Trump's 2024 cabinet. Maybe, just maybe, the cries of racism and homophobia are an easy excuse for Sadiq Khan. Maybe Trump doesn't like Sadiq Khan because he's a totally failed mayor of London. Maybe he didn't appreciate Sadiq Khan allowing...
Is this based on any evidence? Like, they just say, totally failed because we don't like him. Don't like his politics, so he's a totally failed mayor.
a juvenile Trump blimp to be hoisted above London.
I'm sorry, but this was objectively funny. Donald Trump is a man baby. Why can't people express their grievance and protest freedom of speech against a man baby coming over to the UK? Again, they have an opposition to freedom of speech. Sadiq can't criticise Donald Trump. Sadiq can't, let people have a balloon that looks like a big orange baby. They don't care about freedom of speech, only for themselves. And that's not how freedom of speech works.
During his special state visit to see the Queen. And maybe, just maybe, Sadiq Khan should take heed of Trump's critique about him from 2019.
Well, I think he's been a not very good mayor, from what I understand.
What, from Fox News? And you've just been told he's not a good mayor based on no evidence, just a feeling. Doesn't like him, therefore he's a bad mayor.
He's done a poor job. Crime is up, a lot of problems. And I don't think he should be criticizing a representative of the United States that can do so much good for the United Kingdom. We talked about it before.
So he can't. Why not? Why can't he criticize the most powerful leader in the world? Why not? Again, opposition to freedom of speech. He shouldn't. If you've got nothing positive to say about Trump, because Trump doesn't like being criticized. He hates it. Any criticism, he doesn't listen to it because he doesn't care unless you're massaging his ego. He doesn't like you.
He should be positive, not negative. He's a negative force, not a positive force. And if you look at what he said, he hurts the people of this great country. And I think he should actually focus on his job. It'd be a lot better if he did that. He could straighten out some of the problems that he has and probably some of the problems that he's caused.
But he doesn't know this. He's like, "Ooh, I've been told that, Sadiq Khan's not." He doesn't know. He's got no evidence to back this up. He's just saying it. So what have we learned here? That they constantly project and play the victim constantly. Everything they say is, every accusation is a confession. They criticize people who use identity politics, and then they use it constantly. That's all they care about is identity, like English identity. They're obsessed with race. They're obsessed with nationality. This is a form of identity. They're not even aware of what they're doing often. And then opposition to freedom of speech. Sadiq Khan can't criticize anybody. They can criticize Sadiq Khan, but no, you can't criticize. How dare you criticize Donald Trump? How dare you criticize a rapist, a felon, a man who hung around with the most notorious paedophile on the planet? How dare you? So that's all I have for you today. Hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.